Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Perth County Council. This 5th day of October, I'd like to call our meeting to order. If everyone could please bow their head for a moment of reflection. Thank you. Read our land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that Perth County is situated on the traditional land of the Ananashabe, who have a long-standing relationship with the land and water throughout the region. We honor and respect the history, languages, and culture of the diverse Indigenous, Métis, and Inuit people who call this territory home. As a county, we have a responsibility for reconciliation and a continued stewardship of the land on which we live and work. Okay, if you have pecuniary interest, you can disclose that now or as our meeting goes along. We have a motion for the agenda, the October 5th, 2023 agenda be approved by Councillor Orr, second by Councillor Kiesenberg. All those in favor? Carry. Okay, we have 16 items on our consent agenda. Is there any item anyone would like pulled or they have questions on? Seeing none, we have a motion that council receives the consent agenda items 6.1 to 6.16 and approves the September 21, 2023 council minutes. By Councillor Smith, second by Councillor McKenzie. All in favor? Carried. Okay, we're moving on now to planning. We do have a public meeting this morning. Planning OPA 218. Oh, sorry, we need a motion to adjourn regular recess, that regular council recess for the purpose of holding a planning public meeting at approximately 9:02. Moved by Councillor Minkowski, second by Councillor Aitchison. All in favor? Carried. Okay, we're in our public meeting. So the first, I'd like to call our meeting to order. You have pecuniary interest. You can disclose that now. We need a motion that the planning public meeting October 5th, 2023 agenda be approved by Deputy Warden Pelham, second by Councillor McDermott. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, we need approval of our minutes from our last minutes from July the 6th. Is there any questions on any of those minutes? Seeing none, we have a motion that council approves the minutes for the July 6th, 2023 planning public meeting OPA 204 and OPA 217. Moved by Councillor Kiesenberg, second by Councillor McDermott. All in favor? Carried. Okay. We will move then to the report, and it's OPA number 218, Mapleville Congregation. We have Jeff with us this morning, so welcome, Jeff, and the floor is yours.
Chuck, on behalf of Mapleview Congregation, submitted applications to amend the Perth zoning bylaw and to amend the official plan for the subject lands at 2162 Road 163. Slide. The applicant has submitted the rezoning application to amend the property to a site-specific institutional IN-1 zone, which would allow for 2 5-unit apartment dwellings with a minimum easterly interior side yard width of 3.1 meters and no minimum distance separation 1 requirement. The lands are located on a property that is 2.2 hectares in size with 135 meters of frontage on Perth Road 163, and it has approximately 85 meters of frontage on line 10. Property is designated as infilling in the official plan. The subject lands contain a church and a single-story 5-unit apartment dwelling. Lands are surrounded by agricultural lands to the north, south, and east, and a single detached dwelling is immediately adjacent to the lands on the corner of the property, and there's a school to the west. The applicant has submitted this official plan amendment 218 to amend the official plan. The amendment proposes to permit an additional 5-unit apartment dwelling through the redesignation of the infilling designation on the subject lands. Official plan amendment number 32 was previously approved in 2003, and that amendment allowed for a 5-unit apartment dwelling. There's also an official plan amendment that allowed for the expansion of the lands, the size of the lands. which included the institutional building. So if approved, this official plan designation will permit 2 apartment buildings with each apartment dwelling containing 5 dwelling units. So in total, you're ending up with 10 residential units on the lands. Road access to the proposed development is through the existing access on line 10. Development will utilize private individual on-site sanitary and water services through the construction of a new septic system and well, an existing stormwater management facility, which is located between the proposed building and Road 163. So this report is reviewing the application for the official plan amendment. The subject lands are already designated and zoned to allow for the residential development. The applicant has submitted a preliminary geotechnical report and functional servicing report that demonstrates that the property can accommodate and adequately service on the subject lands. The development will not be introducing the new land use into the area and is compatible with the rural character in the area. So as mentioned, the property is designated as infilling in the official plan. That designation typically consists of small concentrations of residential uses that have developed in certain agricultural areas as strip development along public roadways. The goals of the designation are to allow a limited amount of new residential development to occur within small concentrations of existing residential development, and is also intended to minimize the impact on the surrounding agricultural lands and farming operations. The additional residential units will be located on a vacant portion of the existing church site, which is located strip development along the public roadway. Subject lands are not being used for any agricultural operation, and the development is located within that infill designation. The development is not introducing a more sensitive land use than what already exists, and as a result, the development is not required to meet the NDS 1 setbacks on the property. So the zoning bylaw amendment was taken to Perth South Council. The amendment was intended to change the zone to allow for the 5-unit apartment dwelling with an interior side yard setback of 3.1 meters and no minimum distance separation 1 requirement. As mentioned, the minimum distance separation 1 requirement is not required and it was not included in the resolution from Perth South Council. Adequate parking is proposed to be included on the development, and the reduction in the interior side yard width is adequately separated from the adjacent single detached dwelling, as it is located 40 meters to the east of the property and is separated by a row of trees. So public meeting for the zone change, Z08-2023, was held on September 19th. Perth South Council recommended approval in principle of the zoning bylaw amendment to change the zoning to allow for 2 5-unit apartment dwellings with a minimum easterly side yard width of 3.1 meters. If the official plan amendment is approved by county council, the zoning bylaw amendment will be placed on the next township of Perth South Council agenda for final approval. Notice of the public meeting for official plan amendment 218 was given on August 29th. The zone change notice was given on August 30th. Enbridge Gas has responded and noted that they have service lines running through the subject lands. If those lines are impacted, it may be necessary to relocate those lines at the cost of the property owner. Upper Thames River Conservation Authority has stated that they have no objection to the application. And the chief building official for the township of Perth South has advised that due to the size of the proposed septic system, applicant will be required to receive approvals from the Ministry of the Environment. He just wanted to make sure that the applicant was fully aware of that because there's some time involved in processing those amendments and to get that approval in place. No comments have been received from the public at the time of preparing this report, nothing until today's meeting. And as mentioned, Township of Perth East passed a resolution in support of the official plan amendment at this council regular meeting. Planning Department has no concerns with the official plan amendment. The application is consistent with policy statement and conforms to the official plan. And we're available to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone present who wishes to make a presentation or speak in opposition of the application? Seeing no one, is there anyone present who wishes to make a presentation or speak in support of the application other than the applicant or the applicant's agent? Seeing no one, does the applicant's agent wish to have comments? And I believe we have Matt with us on the screen this morning. So good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Warden, members of council. How are you today?
We're just fine, thank you. How are you?
Excellent. Good. So yeah, my name is Matt Lewinchuk, land use planner with Zelenka Preamo. We're the plan consultants for Mapleview Congregation, this established community member and congregation in Perth South. So Jeff has done an excellent job speaking to the proposed development through his comprehensive presentation. And while I haven't prepared a visual presentation today, I did just want to provide a couple of quick comments. So it is acknowledged that the purpose of this meeting is to hear from members of the public with respect to the proposed development. And as Jeff had mentioned, it's our understanding that there hasn't been any public opposition raised by the public to date. We've had the opportunity to carefully review staff's report and note that staff are recommending the official plan amendment be approved, and note that Township of Perth South did approve the zoning bylaw amendment application in principle on September 19th. We're hopeful for a positive recommendation from council this morning. As Jeff mentioned, the proposal comprises adding an additional single story 5-unit rental apartment building on the vacant and underutilized portion of the land directly next to the building of the exact same form and style. So overall, in our professional opinion, the proposed development is contemplated by all levels of provincial, county, and Perth South planning policy. It's appropriate and desirable for the subject lands and represents sound land use planning. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them now.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from members of council? No questions. You stand up, right? Oh, Councilor.
So this here is an aid community, their own church school. They've had this 5-unit building there for a while. These are not big units, like I guess I would call them affordable housing, Todd. But they want to put another 5 up for their community members, and I think it's great. And to keep them all together there, and we're happy.
Okay, good, thanks. All right, so we will adjourn out of the public meeting at approximately 9:12. Moved by Councilor Duncan, second by Councilor McDermott, all in favor? Okay, so now we are back in regular council, and our first one is, oh yeah, Tyler. Okay, that regular council reconvene at 9:12. Moved by Councilor Aitchison and Councilor Jankowski, all in favor? Carried. Okay, now we will go to that report. And Jeff, you want to make additional comments?
Thank you. No, I don't have any additional comments beyond what's in the report and the presentation today, but again, I'm available to answer questions. Okay, questions? Councilor McDermott?
Just that there was, I think, an error on page 69. It says it was Perth South and should have been Perth South, was Perth East. So
it is Perth South, and I think there's an error saying that it was Perth East. I think there's a typo there, so it should read Perth South.
Okay, anything else? If not, we have a motion that council receives the OPA number 218, Mapleview Congregation 2162, Road 163 report submitted by Matt Lewinchuk on behalf of Mapleview Congregation, and that council approved the official plan amendment 218 to the County of Perth official plan affecting lands described as Part Lot 5 concession WMR Blanchard Ward Township of Perth South. Final Councilor McKenzie, second by Councilor Orr, all in favor? Carried. Okay, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
I'm going to move on to corporate services, and we have the forestry inspection report, and Tyler, the floor is yours.
Perfect. Thank you. Through the Warden to Council, before you is the August 2023 Forestry Inspectors Report prepared by Marvin Smith, the Perth County Forestry Inspector. In the month of August, Marvin completed 10 inspections. 4 of those were with response to a request from a landowner, and the other 6 were the notice of intent. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to pass those along to Marvin.
Okay, questions of the report? No questions, then we have a motion that council receives the August 2023 Forestry Inspectors Report for information. Moved by Councilor Katzenberg, second by Councilor Duncan. All those in favor? Carried. And our next report is 2024 council meeting schedule. Tyler?
Perfect. Through the order to council, this is the 2024 county council meeting schedule. This is our annual report with respect to all the council meetings proposed for next year. This was compiled with respect to the procedure bylaw 3736/2020. The dates are listed in the chart below. And there's also for reference, the conferences for 2024. So if there's any questions, be happy to take those.
Okay, questions? Now, this year we did add a meeting in September. Our procedure bylaw doesn't state that. Do you want to go back to having 2 meetings in September, or do you want to just have one? Councilor McKenzie?
I don't see why we can just leave it the way it is, and if we need an extra meeting, we can add it, you know. It varies, whatever your workload is at that time, eh? It's not that hard to add an additional meeting if we need to.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, then council receives the 2024 county council meeting schedule report, and council approves the 2024 council meeting schedule as presented. Moved by Councillor Smith, second by Councillor McDermott. All in favor? Carried. Okay, the next is the warden's activity report. Any questions where I've been or what I've done for what is it, July and August and September? No, okay. And we have a motion that council receives the warden activity report July 23 to September 23 report for information. Moved by Deputy Warden Kellum, second by Councillor Orr. All in favor? Carried.
You actually missed one on there.
What I miss?
They're at Woodcock Brothers, so that was,
It's in there.
it's there. I don't see that on there.
It's there, September 8th, Woodcock Brother 40th anniversary.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I had some trouble with the internet here, it just cuts out every once in a while.
Okay, we're whipping through stuff here. So now we're down to bylaws. So we have a motion that bylaw 3944-2023 be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed this 5th day of October 2023. Moved by Councillor McDermott, second by Councillor Orr. All in favor? Carried. We have any notice of motions? Any other business? Announcements. I do have one announcement that I want everyone to know about. It is starting to be circulated a bit. So through SOMA and the mayors of City of Stratford, Tillsonburg, Ingersoll, Woodstock, and St. Thomas, we have an opportunity to go to Japan on the 27th of November to the 5th of December. So everything is tentative right now. They're working on getting the schedules figured out and who we're all going to meet then. I know Meredith is still looking into it. They're having another meeting, I think, in the next few days to firm things up. And so we just need council. We want council to be aware that this is going on. It may end up that I don't go. Meredith will still go, but I may not go if they can't get enough meetings for every day that we're there. So this is a great opportunity to have one-on-one meetings with potential investors in the SOMA region, and it's sponsored event with the Canadian Chamber of Commerce in Japan. So is there any questions on that? I do believe if it all comes to fruition that we will need a motion from council to allow me to go because it's an out of province event. Okay. We do not have a closed session. And then we have our confirmatory bylaw. Bylaw 3945-2023, a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the Council of the Corporation of the County of Perth at its regular meeting held October 5, 2023 is read a first, second, and third time and finally passed October 5th, 2023. Moved by Councillor McDermott, second by Councillor Duncan. All in favor? Carried. And the last motion of the morning is that council meeting be adjourned at approximately 9:20 a.m. Moved by Councillor McKenzie, Councillor Trinkowski, all in favor? Carried.
Could be, right. Didn't think it would be.